all over the place today. While we're waiting on people to join, let's do the obligatory text on screen. Be sure to go to my website, cookedup.com. Check out what I got going on there. And if you are on Insta, you can follow me right there. And I am, while people are joining, I'm making my notes still a little bit because I was running late. Just everything happened all of a sudden at once. So 3 o'clock rolls around. I had a call until 3. Kids get out of school at 3:20. Then the Amazon packages were Amazon Fresh was delivered, which I'll get to that in a minute. Hey, Mama, and just lots of stuff. Running around with my head cut off. So, alrighty. Well, today is exactly 2 weeks to Thanksgiving. So this is the final quarantine countdown. If you are not quarantining starting today, you better not go see your grandma, unless you want to potentially be the reason your grandma dies. No, but it's true. And no, I know it's a hard choice for a lot of people. I was talking about this today on my personal Facebook about if you don't start the quarantine, you have to start the quarantine today. If you want to be around people, and everyone has to start it today, if you want to be around people and not have to take safety precautions and all of that stuff, right? And if you don't, and some people were like, well, I've got to go to work. I'm forced to go to work. Well, life's full of a lot of tough choices. I hate that you have to miss Thanksgiving, but I personally think that if you are not able to quarantine yourself for the next 2 weeks, I would personally not go spend the holidays with anybody else. I would not hang out with anyone outside of my personal little bubble, my household, my plumbing. And Monica wants to know, Monica Fide, that's right, I say it right, it's like terrified, Fide. Monica Fide wants to know, where can I buy a 5-pound turkey? A little one this year. Maybe a couple of Cornish game hens. Game hens? Is that what they are? Cornish game hens. Sorry, and then also, as I was coming up here, I spilled my wine. Look, this is my cute little mouse pad. Look, I spilled my wine on my desk. So I'm making fun of my grandmother yesterday smelling like scotch. I'm going to smell like Chardonnay, or actually it's Sauvignon Blanc all over the place. I bet Amazon, though, has 5-pound turkeys. I have seen a lot of places that you can get delivered to. And for me, so we're hardcore quarantining. But I think that for most people, quarantining literally could just mean don't hang out with other people, period. You can go to the grocery store if you need to real quick. I know you're not technically supposed to, but you can go to the grocery store real quick because everyone is getting it from their friends and family. And isn't it crazy that there have been 2,500 cases in Dallas County alone in like the last 2 days? Like that's like, it just blows my mind. Like I've lived in towns that were that size, and in 2 days, and the numbers in America are the highest they've ever been. But people are like, I don't know how I got it. I don't know how I got it. And Hannah is saying, we are buying a turkey breast from Tom Thumb. It is about the size of a rotisserie chicken and perfect for 2 people with leftovers. Turkey breasts are good too. I actually like turkey breasts because it's the goodness of turkey, which I'm actually not even a huge turkey fan, but you don't have all the other mess. There's not all of the legs and the bones. You don't have that weird carcass at the end that you got to figure out what to do with and all that kind of stuff. Pick it apart. It's always so much work. I usually make a tetrazzini the next day. We're not going to be able to do that this year because we're actually leaving the very next morning and headed back home so we can be back by Sunday. But yeah. So, and here's the thing. I think that a lot of people think they're being safe when they're not actually taking care of themselves the way they should. Example, there was a story on NBC5 just yesterday, or I saw it this morning, so I assume it was from last night, about this family is like warning, like, this thing is contagious and blah, blah, blah. And the woman in the article says, we thought we only surround ourselves with people who have the similar safety precautions, COVID precautions. And I'm like, surround yourself with friends and family like that? And then she ended up getting it. She pinpointed it to, she went to a girls' dinner with 3 girlfriends to a restaurant, and one of them obviously didn't take the same precautions. and gave it to all the rest of them. They all got sick. And the woman's like, she was like, I was so sick and exhausted, fatigued, that I could not even scramble eggs for my kids. I don't want that. That is not what I want. And Karen was planning on ordering a Greenberg smoked turkey. I know. That was a sad story. The whole place did it explode? I think that's what happened. Just 2020. And then tomorrow's Friday the 13th of 2020. Although I think we've already had one. I don't think this is I think this joke is like a replay of something that happened in the spring. I think we had a Friday the 13th in the spring too. But these people who, I know someone who had a scare, and then it turned out, so they were in direct contact at dinner with someone who tested positive. They went and got tested. Turns out they were negative, and immediately turn around and like, hey, who wants to go to drinks to celebrate that I don't have COVID? I'm like, bitch. And I call everyone bitch, but bitch, like, come on. An explosion. 87,000 turkeys. That's the magnitude of that also, just even if they didn't explode, that they are simultaneously smoking 87,000 turkeys. That's some good stuff. Yeah. And Sandy's confirming it. We did have a March. Maybe this will be the reset. This all started on that first Friday, the 13th. Maybe this is our reset. We couldn't say the same for daylight savings time, but one can hope. But and then I saw an article today that they filmed that. So the Country Music Awards were already filmed, and they're airing. Did they already air? I think they're airing this weekend, maybe. But this thing was panning them because they were like, we've seen the publicity photos for it, and they said it was like one couple per table, spaced 6 feet apart, all that kind of stuff, with masks and all this. The publicity photos do not show that, and there's even I saw the photo myself of Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood holding these weird little plastic masks, not even over their faces. They had them kind of on their belly, and they were like giggling and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if how that works. I mean, if they did it in a bubble, maybe, but that's a lot of commitment to do a bubble situation. I was also reading an article about kids coming home from college and what to do about that. And it was basically they were doing an abbreviated quarantine of sorts, where it was like 3 days before they arrive home, have them take a COVID test, but then make sure that they're quarantining for the following 3 days. And then when they get home, have them quarantine for 5 days, I think is what it was, news-ish. But basically, all told, it was that the research is showing that most people are exhibiting symptoms by day 8 to 10, right? And so if you can quarantine for 10 days at the very least, it's not optimal. You can still get people sick if you happen to have it at the end, but that the 10 days, so that they can celebrate with you. Your college kids can hang out with you and stuff. Because a lot of college kids, my understanding is next week is the last week of school for the semester in person, and a lot of them, they're not returning for the 3 weeks after Christmas, because it didn't make any sense anyway. I mean, after Thanksgiving, it didn't make any sense anyway, because usually one of those weeks is finals week, and then one of those weeks is just like actually I think it's like 2 weeks usually after, because my birthday is December 14th. Don't forget it. December 14th. And my birthday during the 4 years I was in college was either on, it was like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, something like that of my last 4 years of college. It was at the end of the week even. It was Sunday and didn't look safe. Oh, so they already aired it, or they already filmed it and they're going to air it. But yeah, it was like they're getting panned about it, because everyone else has made the American Music Awards, the Grammys, the BET Awards. All of these others have done these award ceremonies that were kind of hybrids, kind of cool. They did group performances, but they literally tested the shit out of everybody. And maybe the Country Music Awards did that as well. Although I don't know. That's so weird to me. By the way, I totally random. As I said at the top of the show today, I'm running late because just this afternoon just kind of caught on fire for me. I ordered groceries because we're leaving town Saturday morning for our big RV trip to North Carolina. I bought groceries via Amazon Fresh. I placed the order at like 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 1. And I got the delivery slot of 3 to 5 today. The groceries I ordered at 1 o'clock today are already delivered and on my counter downstairs. The cold stuff in the refrigerator, I was just throwing it in the fridge. And then all the dry stuff and the not refrigerated stuff is still down there because I needed to come see y'all. I was screaming, Reba, go home. The other thing is they're all old, right? It did air last Sunday. So consider this day old news, week old news. But the article I was reading was today that I saw it. So I'm not that far behind. Let's see. What else are we going to talk about? I called it. So there are reports out now, and I just saw it a few moments ago, that Trump is trying to launch a digital news network, so an online news network, to compete with Fox and to bring Fox down. I have been saying since he declared his candidacy that I think that was his intention the whole time, that he wanted to play into this populist rhetoric and all of that kind of stuff and start a very conservative news network, and accidentally won the presidency. Didn't know that there was as many people who were going to vote for him as they did, and didn't vote for Hillary. But so now he is planning that, and he's still trying to get them riled up and all of that kind of stuff. And that's part of the plan right now, is with the conceding. Yes. Sorry, brain running around like crazy. But digital news, I called it. And if that comes, that's what I've said all along. He is starting a news network. And my mom is saying I was due on a Friday the 13th. That is true. December the 13th was my due date. Instead, I was born on Saturday the 14th, which, if y'all know any about spoof movies, like the airplane movies and all of that, there is a spoof and scary movie. There's a spoof one called Saturday the 14th, and it basically makes fun of all of the horror movies, the Jason and Freddy Krueger and all that kind of stuff. It's very silly, creepy, or silly, goofy, totally on brand for me. So maybe that's why I held out Saturday the 14th. What else? Fortunately, I keep notes, so sometimes they don't make it to the card, but I keep them on my other computer screen. What else was I going to talk about? And again, I feel bad. Some people are like, well, some of us can't quarantine before Thanksgiving. It is a personal choice you are making to continue to potentially endanger your family members and have them endanger you if you were getting together without a 2-week quarantine. Whether or not you have the ability to do that, you have the ability to choose whether or not to attend that Thanksgiving ceremony, that Thanksgiving meal. As Hannah said, I don't have this burning desire to sit in front of a bunch of people and eat turkey if it's going to get somebody else sick. That's, I think, paraphrasing what Hannah said earlier. So yeah, that's literally why the kids are in virtual school this week. We're RVing it for a week, making a personal choice to die. Who knows? That is the thing. Chances are you will be okay. You will be okay. Granny might not. Great Aunt Barbara might not, whatever, but you will probably be okay. But there's also a chance that you might not, because even though the death rate is like 2%, it doesn't seem to be making a lot of sense either. So I don't know. I'm not there for that. And we're pretty strict on the quarantining. Sorry, like I said, I spilled wine earlier. As I was coming up here, I set it on the coaster wrong, and it sloshed. It's on everything. Oh, it smells so good. I am just a grade A drunk. That is like smelling the net. Should I suck on it? Make sure no drop goes wasted. I'm a mess. I also saw that I should just rename this episode. I didn't saw that. I saw that the CDC changed their guidance on masks. Before, they were saying that masks are, you wear a mask to protect everybody else, right? I'm going to put this up here. I guess I could get my inheritance quicker if I host Thanksgiving. Is it really worth that much? That's hilarious. So the original thing was that masks protect everybody else. So I wear my mask to protect you. You wear your mask to protect me. it doesn't provide me much protection, right? My own mask does not. They've now changed that logic, and they're saying the mask is also protecting you, which is good, right? That's good. That may be PR to try to get people to wear fucking masks to protect themselves. I don't know. Also, supposedly only 40% of Americans wear masks regularly. I don't know who these people are. Everywhere I go, I see people in masks. Maybe in the cities we're doing a better job, but obviously not, because Dallas County is like skyrocketing again. Like we were bouncing in like a couple of hundred for a while, and now we're hitting 1,400 a day. Crazy. And But anyway, but they did say, this thing I read said, if you have a mask that has a valve on it, just throw that shit away. Masks with the air valves, the little thing that lets the air come, they look kind of cool. They actually let COVID out. They don't work. They need to just be thrown away. So if you have any mask, what their recommendation was triple ply, either fabric or paper, but it has to be triple ply, so that there's 3 layers, I guess, so that the germs get caught in between them. But no air valve. The air valves are make it bullshit, because you're just blowing it keeps it from getting into you, but it blows your air out really easily. And that's what they're designed to do, so that you're not fogging up your glasses and stuff, right? But it defeats the point. So throw away the ones that have air valves in them. Or just put them away until they change the rules again. So, what else was I going to talk about? And no gators. They were basically saying that the gators are better than nothing. Bandanas are better than nothing. It mentioned both of those. Bandanas are better than nothing. Gators are better than nothing. As long as the gator actually fits you, it's not just like kind of hanging out, right? And but it's still better than nothing. But the air valve ones literally are as good as nothing to other people. It still protects you, but if you happen to have it, it just blows all your air out. Sandy did buy one of those with air valves in the beginning, but I haven't used it. Yeah, they looked cool, and everyone was raving about them. That they were great because you don't feel like you're suffocating. Well, the reason you don't feel like you're suffocating is because you're blowing all your air out. So that's the point. I think protect yourself should have always been the lead message. People don't care about others that much. True that. I agree completely. And I think they should have tested that more, because, it was that the key message before was, your mask protects me, my mask protects you. But most people are selfish assholes. And so they're not going to wear the mask. But now they might. Maybe. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. At this point, I think that I hope that the politicization of it, is that the politicalization of it, sometimes I make up words, has really hurt the mask thing. But I'm hoping that people are getting over that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do live kind of in a bubble. So I don't know. And Crystal is saying that you cannot fly with a gator or a valve, according to Southwest. It has to be a straight up mask. Good. We got these great ones at these they're the KN95. So Todd told me that they're the same thing, except for they're made in China, so they may or may not be as good if it has the K at the beginning, but that's the only ones that you can get if you're not like a first responder or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Again, news-ish. But we got them. Tom Thumb had them on a sale rack. I don't know if they were mismarked or whatever, but we were able to get 10 for $10. And they're great. They have that little piece here that you can kind of bend to thing. My issue with wearing the masks, honestly, if I'm around people, is I'm a smiler. Y'all know that. I'm a smiler and I'm a talker. And so I smile so much when I've got it on that by the time I take off my mask, it doesn't matter if it's fabric or the paper or whatever, I feel like I'm sunburned right here, because the balls of my cheeks, is that what that's called? Balls of your cheeks are rubbing so hard, and it's tight right there. I literally always feel sunburn after I take my mask off if I've been wearing it a long time. Because again, talker and smiler. If I were grumpier and quieter, maybe it wouldn't hurt so much. But that wouldn't be as fun. We'll see what else was I going to talk about. Just some random thing. Kind of a weird ranty thing. So there is, here in my neighborhood, not my neighborhood, here in Dallas, there is the Gayborhood, Oak Lawn is what it's called. And there was announced that a developer is buying up like 2 blocks of property and going to put a high rise there, and everyone's, oh, what was me? Where are we going to park when we go to the bars? First of all, you shouldn't be parking when you go to the bars because drinking and driving is bad. Just take an Uber. So there's that. And they're just, and it's just changing the personality of the whole neighborhood. I've talked about this before. Someone sold it to them, so someone didn't care that much. Granted, in this case, actually, the seller actually cared deeply about it, or at least their own stuff, and they got grandfathered in or put a clause in the contract that they can operate their bars indefinitely in those locations. So they preserved that. It cracks me up, though, that we're concerned about gay bars in general, nightclubs. But people are just upset about the traffic, the crime, which I think that upgrading a neighborhood actually makes the crime go down. Maybe, I don't know. The parking. What about the school nearby? Well, what about it? I don't know. Anyway, just random thing I was thinking about. First world problems. Yes, the rubbing of the cheeks and all of that. Yes. We just had our office get shut down until December due to 2 people in 2 weeks getting the Rona. And I had seen these people not being vigilant with wearing a mask. I stayed away from these people, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, I shut my office yesterday again until December at least. It may actually be through the holidays because I am worried that the darkest days are ahead of us, that post-Thanksgiving is going to be a shit show. About 10 days later, it's going to be like all the bombs are going to be falling, and I just worry that we're going to hit a shutdown again, which we may need it. On the other hand, I don't think that our president will authorize that. So, and he is president for 2 more months still, right? Even if I think he made his first public appearance yesterday, looking haggard. You know, he's probably still got the residual effects of having COVID, the fatigue and all that stuff. Can you imagine, man? What do y'all say? I am out of stuff to talk about, so I need y'all to ask me questions. We're still planning our trip. We're still planning to go Saturday, although we may be skipping Natchitoches and we may be going a little farther the first night down to Lafayette, just because the distances are so weird where we're going. And I know we do need it, talking about the shutdown. I know. Sometimes that is the only thing that keeps people from acting against their interests. I have a friend. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm halfway through a class and whatever. I have a friend who threw a 40th birthday party this weekend. Gigantic. It's on all of the social feeds of like 40, 50 different people I see. I'm interested to see how that turns out. I'm interested to see, again, I don't know the backstory. I don't know if they rapid tested everyone beforehand or made people promise or pinky promise, whatever, or they just don't care. I don't know. But I'm just like, I could not. I mean, I know you only turn 40 once, but still, I personally, in my conscience, could not do that. And Michelle's already ordered extra paper towels. I saw that there's a run on them. What's the big deal about paper towels anyway? I don't understand that. Toilet paper, I get. You can't really replace toilet paper with anything else, right? And if you're locked up for a month, you need to make sure you're not running out of that. Paper towels, like I can get away with the regular towel instead, dish towels, all that kind of stuff. Just got back from the eye doctor. What do you know about floaters? You talk about floaters, like if you have a little particle in your eye and then you can kind of see things. Is that what you're talking about? I have, I don't know what it is, but like if I focus, like if I can focus right now, there's a little squiggle a little clear squiggle that I can kind of see through that just blurs, and I can actually make it move. I've had it my whole life. Is that a floater? Is that what you're talking about? The only other floater I know is what is in a toilet bowl, and I don't think that relates to your eye doctor. So, have I planned my meals? Yes, actually I have. Where did I put the card? RV meal planning card. I love. If you ever want to get me a gift, just get me some 4x6 white cards. It doesn't have to be, colored ones would be great too. I have stacks of them. I use them for everything. And then I can throw them away, just write on them and throw them away. Love them. So here's the meal lineup. We're not vegetarians, by the way, Aaron. So apologies in advance on that. We're gonna have campfire nachos one night. You actually inspired me. I did not even know that was a thing, and I saw it on your Instagram or TikTok or whatever I saw it on. And so got that going. And I need to remember to bring our Dutch oven with us and a cast iron skillet. I need to start putting stuff by the door. We're going to get Bernadette tomorrow, I think. Well, it has to be tomorrow, if not tonight. We originally thought tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen. So tomorrow, and start loading it in. So campfire nachos, and that's basically where you, we'll do it on the grill though, but you put them in a cast iron skillet and you layer them. It's almost like a Mexican lasagna in a way, but you can still pull them apart. Looks delicious. And I'm going to put chunks of chicken on it. Hamburgers and French fries, you cannot beat that. And then the air fryer, the French fries are the best. And we take the air fryer with us. And I love it. I eat hamburger like, sorry, someone from San Diego is trying to get hold of me. I eat hamburgers like once a week, not with the bun and stuff. Like I just make a hamburger steak, just simple 1/3 pound of hamburger meat, salt and pepper, grill it in a cast iron skillet on each side for about 3 minutes. A little charred action. It is so good. Love it. So we're gonna have that one night. Frito pies. I love Frito pies. Some chili over some Fritos. And I actually pre-make the chili. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow, and then I freeze it. So I may actually need to do that tonight. And then so that I just have to heat it up then. And I use the Defined Dishes chili recipe. It is so good, so good. And I know that Sandy is a fan of the Defined Dish now too. What else? Flank steak and baked potatoes. The air fryer makes the best baked potatoes as well. So good. You just stab them with a fork a bunch of times, coat them in oil, and then I put garlic powder and sea salt all over them, like just crust it up. Because I don't know if y'all do this, but I eat my baked potatoes like from front to back. I don't just eat the guts out. I eat the skin and everything. Just the whole thing is gone when I'm done, and I just eat it front to back. I still slice it open and put all the shit in it, but I do it that way. So that, and then we have a flank steak in the freezer downstairs. I love flank steak. And then that orange chicken I was talking about yesterday, which is not actually orange chicken. It is a chicken that looks orange when it comes out of the air fryer. Putting the air fryer to work on this. It's chicken breast. And then spaghetti. I have spaghetti already, the sauce already pre-made, bolognese sauce, a lot of meat, and can make that too. So, and Sandy is saying yes, the best recipes in the Defined Dish. It is so good. Excuse me. I did not mean to burp with y'all. Just see. Still don't know what you're talking about, the floaters, but that was what I ordered. And then for lunches, we have sandwiches, quesadillas, leftovers. I love these things called Hillshire snacking. They're like little charcuterie trays with little dry salami, cheese. They're like grown-up Lunchables, little Melba toast kind of looking things, little cheese and you just open it and eat it. Oh, it's so good. I had one for breakfast this morning. We were out of milk this morning, so I had one. It's like very Italian breakfast with some that. I need to make sure I do not lose that. 7 meals is what I got to plan. And yes, you have to eat the skin. I love it. I grew up not eating the skin. I grew up just eating the guts out of it, but you got to eat the skin. And I put bacon on it. And sometimes we will just have baked potatoes for dinner. And I will put, I'll make some broccoli with it that you can put on it, bacon, cheese. I'm horribly allergic to sour cream, so can't eat that. Have I ever told y'all that story? Remind me if I haven't, and I'll do that some other time. Horribly allergic to sour cream, but everyone else eats it. And butter, of course, you gotta have a lot of butter. And just cook it up. And sometimes I'll even put like chili or ground beef in it, and that just make that the meal. God, I wish I could do that tonight. I still might. I could always buy more potatoes tomorrow, or just not have potatoes on the road. So let's see what else is. I think that's all. Somehow I still filled 30 minutes though. I cannot see Americans giving up their Christmas traditions. I worried what the beginning of 2021. Yep. Our school actually added a week off at the end. So we have 3 weeks off, I think maybe 4 weeks off for Christmas. And part of that was so that people would have time to get everything out of go do what they're going to do and then get it out of their system before they show back up at school. Um, and so, yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a hard time giving up Thanksgiving for a lot of people. I just don't. I don't know. Like I said, we're doing extraordinary measures. We are quarantining for 2 weeks and then driving and not seeing anybody we're like in a bubble on the way. I watched a cooking show where they baked the potatoes, used the insides to make mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, and they made potato skin appetizers with the skins. I love a potato skin appetizer. There used to be some potato chips. I think they were called like TGI Fridays potato skins or something. Maybe that was the flavor. Loved them. They were so good. You did not say you loved us all when you signed off yesterday. I'm just saying. I didn't. I'm sure I did. We need to go check the replay. I can't imagine I didn't say I love y'all. Because I love y'all. And our family is giving it up. We're doing this. I mean, the only reason that we are doing it is because Todd's parents are the only ones we're seeing. And they're kind of the OG quarantiners anyway, even though they think we're all overreacting. They live out in the country. They go into town like once a week to the grocery store and maybe to grab lunch at a restaurant, just the two of them. And then the only humans they see during an average week are the shopkeeper, the restaurant person, and themselves. And then the host of Fox News. But that's it. And so I do not feel like they're a danger to us. I like twice baked, but don't put it back in. Yeah, that sounds good, right? The mashed potato thing. Okay, well, that's it. That's all I got today. Hey, by the way, I'm still running. I'm raising money for helpusadopt.org, an organization that funds life-changing grants for families who want to adopt, so we can get more kids in homes and help families who can't necessarily afford the $50,000 startup cost of adopting. It's really expensive, so that we can give them grants. I'm on their national board, and I have a post over at coopedup.com that has the details and a link where you can make a gift. I really appreciate it if you would take a look at that. And with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you, Michelle Condre. I love you especially today. I don't want you to feel left out from yesterday, so I won't double it up. You are loved, especially you, Michelle Condre. And I'm picking on you. Don't shoot yourself to death. The only thing you shouldn't be doing is getting around a bunch of other people and doing it without a mask on. And now Raven is hungry. Me too, girl. Me too. And I love your little icon with Kamala and the little girl in the shadows. I love that. That's all I got. I will see. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know when we're picking up the RV. So there may be some flux. I'll keep you posted on that. But at this point, I plan to see you tomorrow for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Shit Koopa Says at 4:30. Talk to you later. Love y'all. Bye.